Lan, good morning.
Congratulations, Mayor.
Good morning.
Dili lagi siya. Buwan na tayo pagduha-duha.
Thank you kayo, Lan. Well, I have been discharging 4 months ago as acting mayor of the city of Cebu. So I think there is really no difference. No? It's just a matter of title naman tingali. I will, of course, exercise my duty, my obligation as the mayor of the city of Cebu. So it's business as usual.
Any marching order, Mayor, nga ikaw nagkaroon na. Mayor, all pledge.
Mao naman good gihapon. The problems of the city have to be solved. They need a mayor who will act on the needs of the city of Cebu. And of course, I have been doing that for the past 4 months. And I plan to continue what I have started.
Mayor, wabay changes sa mga department heads?
Wala akong mag-ingon, wala due changes because there will really be some changes. In fact, I have been making changes at the very beginning, 30 days after that I assumed as acting mayor. So, hinay-hinay naman ako mga changes. But there have already been changes in our departments.
Mayor, man naman yun ang filing. Unsay tutukan na sa dato karon along the way?
Well, exactly priorities. But number one really is to focus on health. As I have mentioned several times. I think na importante kayo na mahuman din ang atong Cebu City Medical Center. It has been in that sorry state for the past 10 years. O karon tingali tutukan na ginato na mahuman na gina. I am looking at maybe a year from the awarding of the contract. So hopefully kana sa gina sa atong mga priorities. What na gina natagad for the past 2 or 3 years has remained stagnant and the same, pero karon kinahanglan na naging buhaton. Kunya ang akong ingon nila nga as we progress with the construction of the CCMC, ang akong instructions was ug unsay mahuman nga floor atong aplihan dayon kay para mabutangan nato og services, additional services ang atong hospital para sa atong mga kaigsunan.
Mayor, namo ba yung mga di magkirikayan na employees or sympathizers of the previous administration? What is your guidance sa mga employees niya?
Well, you can even me. I am a sympathizer also of Mayor Mike. Kaning ang iyang karon is something that is very challenging. And of course, even if it happens to me, I've said this in the past, I would also feel the same way. Dili nila rin ang iyang. No, and of course, I always say that I really wish him well, Mayor Mike. And daghang sympathizers diri. But this is not anymore about sympathy. This is already about serving the people of the city of Cebu. And whether you're a sympathizer or not, or you're a supporter or not, as long as you are employed here in the city of Cebu, you must do your work because that is your mandate as public officials of this or public employees of the city of Cebu. So since ako naman ang mayor, so they will really have to, of course, follow in the direction of my administration.
Mayor, why did you hold your oath taking in sa Vice Mayor's office and at the office of the Mayor?
I feel more comfortable here because ang sa office mo dito sa mayor murag dili pa gyud kaayo suitable para nako. Of course, ang ako amang good before I enter office and before I really stay there, I want hanay tanan, like for example naglumisa, mablisingan yun nato kung sa panang diha. So that's why I preferred office here because dili ato na mo guning nablisingan before when I came in as Vice Mayor of the City of Cebu. So mo na ang reason yun.
Kano sab kambalhin dito, Mayor?
Ang pangutana o bubalhin bagid ko?
Oh, yes. Kung mabalhin ka.
Wala pa ko naka-decide na ng butanga, but of course, I will make use good of the mayor's office. Well, there is a possibility nga I will just add more conference rooms dito and some offices and then magpabilin ako diri. That is a possibility. There's also a possibility nga tingali mubalhin sa dito. But that is something which I really have to talk also sa ako mga konsehal o ang akong staff if angay ba yun mamubalhin dito. Considering siyam na lang kabuan.
Mayor, just diving into specific, what are the departments or things ang department heads na karon na ilison na and will be replaced onwards?
Na-replace naman nato a few weeks ago ang atong city accountant, for example. Ato nang tulibutang si Attorney April Salas. And then, I just recently replaced atong si Sendro because he opted not to be renewed. No? And then maybe there will be some others. No? Tingali, I also replaced already the Public Information Office, no? Among others. So there will be a lot of developments in the coming days as to how I will be running the city of Cebu.
Mayor, after everything that happened, have you had any communication with Mayor?
None whatsoever. Wala namin nagka-istorya. Although I am in contact with the councilors who are incumbent. We talk about things here at City Hall.
Mayor, will you be implementing status quo sa mga programs ni Mayor Rama or will you be implementing new ones?
There will be, as I've said, there will be programs which I feel will have to continue. And there will also be some programs which I feel will have to be discontinued. No? So, for example, ang Gubat sa Baha, we are still continuing that program because I think that is imperative to solve our flood problem here in the city of Cebu. Also, sa pa may mga programs, of course, there was talk of housing, temporary shelter. No? That is something also that I will continue. And I will have to, address many things also in the coming days.
Mayor, naka-istorya na mo ni Vice Mayor Hontiveros of
Yes.
the directions of the city and the relationship of the legislative and executive.
Wa mi naghisgot anang relationship of the legislative and the executive, but I don't think there is any problem in that regard. Kaya puros mo na ako kauban, pareha may goal, pareha may tumong tinguha, ang kaayuhan man sa syudad sa Cebu. Nag-istorya mi because I invited him if he would want to join in the oath-taking ceremony today. And niingon lang siya nako nga he has yet to talk to his lawyers and he has yet to make a decision on that matter kay magagad siya siya mga abogado.
Mayor, Cebu City was known to be Singapore like Cebu City. Will we stick to it, to the tagline, or we have new branding under our leadership?
Maybe that is you're asking about to discontinue, no? Maybe that is one of the things that I would discontinue, kanang Singapore line, because I've said no, I want Cebu City to have its own identity. Cebu City is not Singapore, and in fact we have been longer as a civilization compared to Singapore. No? So that is something which I feel that has to be changed. So we can always call ourselves a premier city in Asia, for example. That's one of the things that I am going to consider. Of course, we want to aspire to be like Singapore. And I am all for that, aspiring to be like a first world country. Ano kung dili? Kinsa may di ganahan na. However, I don't think we should be named and branded as Singapore because we are Cebu City.
Mayor, on the lighter note, na ba yung mga advice ng mga father knowing you wore the same shoes before?
Well, you're lying in shoe size. Daghan siya mga advice. Most of his advices were really on continuing some of the projects that he started, like the waterfront development project, or ang heritage, no? Ang yung passion kaayo is about heritage also. And of course, kinagmay nga mga advices here and there. But it more focused on heritage preservation, more of tourism, mo ginang yung mga advices na.
How about sa housing, Mayor?
Oh, of course. It was Mayor Alvin Garcia who really started kaning housing medium rise. No? In fact, the first one was in Barangay Sambaguno. And he was way ahead of his time. 25 years ago, he already thought of medium rise buildings as housing here in the city of Cebu. And that is something that we are planning to do as well, di ba? Karon, that is even the thrust of the President, kanang 4PH program, wherein magtukod og mga condominiums for atong mga informal settlers. No? So, usasada sa atong priority. In fact, nanay budget ang Cebu City to the tune of 600 million, which I plan to use so that we can already start with our housing, both permanent and temporary housing.
Katong hangyo ni mo ni Governor Gwen na ipasayon ang mga appointments sa katong sa 93-1 sa katong sa pag-ibig.
Well, nindot naman kayo ang among istorya ni Governor Gwen when it comes to 93-1 and all provincial lots that have residents living there na Cebu City voters. So may nagidayo ang among kuan, among sabot, nagiday gamay na mga hurdles to, like ang pag-ibig sa tuka, no, because pag-ibig requires minimum number of area, they require minimum number of road width, for example. So kana na lang atong i-hurdle sa pagkakaroon.
Mayor, just want to extract your directives onwards on some major projects like the BRT. You delivered a privilege
Yes.
before.
Yes, I delivered a privilege speech on the BRT because of one of the stations that was covering the capital. And I have been very consistent that once it destroys the view of a heritage site such as the capital, of course I will act accordingly. And that is why I made a privilege speech, no? Hoping that the DOTR would perhaps redesign or relocate the station para dili na siya. Kaya ba bita Musluneta o sinapo dita Musluneta and then dako kayo nga photobomber. No, this is the same situation. Murag feel na ko nga naagi photobomber diha kung naa ang station nakabutang dito. It should be redesigned or it should be transferred. And my direction towards that has not changed. But overall, regarding the BRT, I think it is a move in the right direction because Cebu City really needs a mass transportation system that is efficient, effective, and that can make you arrive from point A to point B. So that is one of the things that tingali going towards the few weeks and few months I am mayor. We will be coordinating with the DOTR regarding the BRT.
Traffic system na to, Mayor.
Traffic system, there are two phases, phase 1 and phase 2. Phase 1 has already been complete, pero wa pa na to gibayaran in full kay tungod nga kato akong task force nga gipahimo nga I wanted to make sure na unsay na as terms of reference whatever deliverables they have na makumpleto yun sa phase 1 and they are making their own recommendations. Basta I was very strict with them and I told them na yun ko ganago ng pricing. If I find out that the price is not comparable to Mandaue, to Lapu-Lapu, Talisay, or even MMDA, then they will have a lot of explaining to do and I will definitely delay the payment if I find out that it is not comparable, if it is not competitive. However, if it is competitive and we feel that igamit na muna to karon pila nakatuig, no, nya watay bayad-bayad. So I don't also want to be unfair to the contractor. For as long as musubay lang terms of reference, dili excessive or overpriced, then ato nang nakapahimus na ta, then I'm willing to pay. So that's phase 1. And then phase 2, also, nag-form ako team composed of CCTO, mix na experts sa computerization, no? And systems. I formed a task force just to look into that. So magpaabot ko sa ilang recommendations.
Mayor Mike had a statement that he's still persistent in going back to office come November. As full-fledged mayor, what do we do about this?
He said that. Maybe after my oath taking, he will no longer consider. No, I think Mayor Mike is a lawyer and he knows very well that the Ombudsman's decision is immediately executory, and that is why I took my oath as the mayor of the city of Cebu. So, you know, he is a lawyer and he has several lawyers, and he can always inquire with the DILG. So, I don't think that is possible. I don't think that he will insist considering that he has always been on the side of the rule of law must prevail.
Mayor, as a full-fledged mayor, 2025 na nakikabuling mga budget, sa mga utmost priority na
According to the law, we have to submit the annual budget of 2025 by October 15. And last Monday, I had a meeting with the department heads. Unya, ready naman ang ato budget for 2025. I just have to sign it. O mangusta na ka kumpilas usual, definitely less than 20 million.
Less than 20 billion.
Around 18 to 20 billion thereabouts.
Priorities across the budget.
Daghan kayo priorities, no? Housing is one. Ang health, tanaw na nato because ang CCMC are getting it from a different year budget and 600 million to finish everything. We might need also additional budget to finish the upper floors. So I'll show it to you when finalize the gina.
Mayor, may updates sa sports center. Cebu City.
Okay, sports center. Yesterday I was in Barangay Pulang Bato. And usas with the same contractor na ay bridge dito nga wapamahuman. No, nga dugay-dugay na gidayon. When I was there, I did not find any workers. No? So, I have already called on, ako nang ipatawag ang DEPW, si Engineer Noel Corminal, and I have asked him the status, and we are looking into already terminating the contract and to, yeah, for both, no, for the oval as well as the Katong Bridge, but more so sa bridge kay ang oval saan man ang contractor na iyang sugdan within the month, no? But dili gali ko makakita na kaya ang ilang rason nagkuha pa sa materials kami from China, blah 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 blah. So dili gini masugdan din, we will already proceed to terminate the contract of the oval.
Miss Lau,
Pero
Sino
sa
bayaran?
bridge, ha?
Hindi na ito magbayaran.
Pila bayaran?
Ilan ang i-compute? Usually ilan ang i-compute, i-prorate nila o pilay na work nila mura sa
Wala
iba.
bayaran.
So we will look into that. Pero ang bridge ako na yung giingnan si Engineer Noel Corminal na kanang i-terminate na lang yun ang ito.
Ako, Mayor, so we're terminating the site and the bridge, but on the track oval, we're giving an ultimatum.
We're just giving an ultimatum for them to start already by this month, as promised. For
Until
the
when
oval.
ito yata, Mayor?
Until the end of the month. Pitsa, kuha naman taron, sa taron.
9.
9.
So, and then, ang bridge, ako na yun ang ipaterminate.
Mayor, the city council has been questioning the integrity of the builders. Are we also questioning the same?
Of course. No. And, well, suffice to say that all of these projects were awarded prior to my assumption as acting mayor. Wala nang iklaro, but now I'm being very strict with kaning mga contractors na itong i-awardan na kanang capable, no, niya kanasang kung sa abogado di kampanilya ba, no, kanang naagi nindot na track record so that ang itong mga proyekto walang postyo. Okay?
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
It's at all.